All right, guys, welcome back to another speed typing video. We're going to use this book again that has 80 little autobiographical profiles in it. And we're going to go through the dice again. We're going to let them pick which figure we're going to talk about. I'm going to put 5 minutes on the clock once we pick the figure. And within 5 minutes, offering some observations, I have to give a verdict of what type I think that figure is. So without further ado, we're going to find our D8 here, and it's going to be a 7. So it's going to be one of the 70th figures in the 70 to 79 range. And it's going to be 74, okay? The 74th figure, that's who we're going to be looking at today. Okay, at the 74th spot, we got Mark Twain, the traumatizer of children's literature that we all had to read. Okay, so I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes. I might offer some insights along the way, and then at the end of those five minutes, we're going to offer a verdict. So I'm going to start right now. Okay, so the author's describing the scene where he's going swimming with a friend. He's not supposed to be going swimming. And then he gets out, they get some little treasures from the bottom of the river or the pond. He hides them. He puts his shirt back on, and he goes back to his parents' house, and he doesn't want his mom to find out that he's been swimming. So he arranges his collar in a certain way, make sure it's dry, and then she's kind of frustrated at him because she thinks he's lying about something. But then she says, "You haven't been swimming," and that's one good thing, meaning like at least you haven't been swimming. So we see this ability to deceive, to offer deception, in terms of anticipating what his mother's reaction might be, and then preparing for that, presenting himself in a certain way to avoid detection, if at all possible. What kind of function, what kind of type might that be? I think extroverted intuition users are the best at offering deceptions. They might know what someone might look for. You could argue it's extroverted sensing, but extroverted sensing users are less anticipatory. So I'm leaning towards extroverted intuition for that trait. Wow, that's really interesting. Okay, so he kind of gets punished. He gets told that he has to go whitewash a fence. He protests to his mom, saying, "It's Saturday. Come on, don't make me whitewash the fence." So his brother John gets to go swimming. I think it's his brother, while he has to go whitewash the fence. And then his brother says to him, "I'm going swimming, but I reckon you can't because you got work to do, huh?" And then, echoing that same kind of deceptive quality, Mark Twain or Samuel Clemens says, "You call this work? A boy doesn't get a chance to whitewash your fence every day," he tells his brother, and puts on this act of enjoying his work. And then his little brother, growing kind of curious, is like, well, maybe I am actually missing out on this opportunity. He says, "Here, Sam, let me whitewash a little." He gets out of the water and helps his brother do some work. Okay, this is really, really interesting because he's offering this other deception again, showing an example of kind of cultivating desire in a place that most people wouldn't want. To me, that screams any hero, an ENTP or ENFP. Again, extroverted intuition. Maybe any parent with an INFP or INTP, they're less egregiously manipulative, I would say, in this way. I think they're more subtle. To me, this screams extroverted intuition hero. All right, that's the timer. We only got about 2 examples there, but we see a couple times extroverted intuition and then extroverted intuition again. This ability to deceive, to show something, to cultivate something where it wasn't there before. So I don't have a lot of other information to offer in about 2 pages, but after 5 minutes of reading, I see this pattern of extroverted intuition, and that leads us, if he's any hero, which is my guess, then that he's either an ENTP or an ENFP. Now, ENFPs are regarded as being a little more schemy than ENTPs. They're regarded as being a little more, actively deceptive. But ENTPs, I found, are actually more so capable of that. It's an ability to problem solve. It's an ability to pragmatically solve their problems if they can make people look at them in a certain way. So based on the example of his mother, anticipating her reaction and arranging his shirt in a certain way to avoid detection that he was swimming, and cultivating desire from his brother of like, oh yeah, whitewashing this fence, you're the one missing out who's swimming, brother. And then he gets his brother to come help him. That to me leans more of the any heroes toward ENTP. I'm going to go with Mark Twain, Samuel Clemens being an ENTP. All right, guys, that's another speed typing episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time. Bye.